Mbale, a city located in eastern Uganda, is the main municipal, administrative and commercial center in Bugisu sub-region. Once the cleanest town in East Africa, today Mbale buzzes with life activities of people doing business and trade, and the rich cultural circumcision tradition, Mbale. But beneath the city's impressive pretense lies a huge threat of power theft, now a notorious characteristic of the region. The danger has not only cost electricity utility company UMEME billions of shillings in losses, but has led to loss of many lives. According to UMEME, more than half of the energy dispersed to eastern Uganda is lost to theft by locals, who also end up losing lives in the process. Because of the risks and hold-ups it presents, I moved fast to investigate this sweeping conduct, to unearth the masterminds, lives lost, and how the harmful practice is conducted in this region. Shortly driving out of Mbale town, I get to one of the nearest districts, Sironko, a new one carved out of Mbale in the year 2000. We are currently in Sironko district, one of the districts in eastern Uganda where illegal electricity connections are most rampant. Now, just last year, over 1,000 people are reported to have been electrocuted in 10 months. And that's a big number. And so we're here to find out, why are people doing these illegal connections, how are they done, and why? My first destination is at the Sironko district headquarters. I have been informed by a source of a planned meeting of local leaders discussing with the utility company UMEME on ways to curb the power theft challenge. In the meeting, I am seated next to one gentleman who I later came to understand as Martin Kisule, the district's Deputy Chief Administrative Officer. During this seminar, he makes profound submissions about power theft, compelling me to meet him.
And when you appeal to women will never listen. Even if you call a phone, they will never listen to you.
Kisule tells me how many in the region access power illegally, with some ending up electrocuted in the process.
The illegal connection is almost everywhere to be seen. Everywhere you go, you find there is a problem. People hooking the power, and actually people die, even many people are dying.
He reveals how those electrocuted are reported to have died from snake bites or poison, and are buried very fast because of the fear of being arrested by police or UMEME officials.
So nobody will say that so and so has died of power. But eventually you hear rumors coming up, if you know the person, that so and so was shocked by power, but with them they will say the person was poisoned.
Here a source also directs me to a village called Salalira village, where many have died due to electricity shocks. I then drive to Salalira in Bukise sub-county to find a family who I'm told is victim of power theft. Shortly after branching off at Nalugugu Trading Center, driving through a Maram Road, I get to Salalira village, to the home of Beatrice Nambafu. Beatrice, now a widow, lost her husband due to power theft. But she's not at home, and her children tell me that she went to a nearby school, St. Mary's Primary School, to work. After getting directions, we drive to St. Mary's Primary School, and quickly Beatrice is called to meet her strange visitors. Here, she's painting classrooms, working with other women in the area to earn a living.
Neighbor come and inform her that there is a job at St. Mary's. So this is why she decided to come here to begin working and a living.
Beatrice then offers to open up about the story of her husband's death, but she prefers to talk about this at her home, not at the job. So we drive back to Salarira village through the bad road. And very fast she walks us back to her home. The home is found in the middle of the village, and although it is near banana plantations, it's near the first trading center where a main pole of electricity stands. At home, a daughter who, although in her minor age seems pregnant, welcomes Beatrice, the mother. With no much delay, Beatrice picks her album to show us some pictures of her late husband, Geoffrey Mercer. As she runs through the album, it is evident that memories of her husband run through her mind. 44-year-old Mercer died in 2012 due to an illegal power connection that he himself had wired, tapping from a nearby high voltage line. According to Beatrice, the live wire with high voltage power connecting to light their small mud house had accidentally touched a nail on which another wire used to hang clothes was tied. On the fateful day, the late Mercer, having returned home on a rainy day, unknowingly rested a panga he held on the wire on which they hung clothes, only to be electrocuted.
So these iron sheets connected this outside wire. So when the husband was moving around, he grabbed the neck.
Nasanjazi gando gava gahambile waya enoki kati lwesayira mukono kwa mata ambe kunati basi nesi waya eno yakalikira ano aneti kati nge yakalikane waya eno yahambeti yakubaheti yamu.
He died instantly as she helplessly watched.
Gesi waya yene boti ngesi yamu ambeti
Wire grabbed him.
Moses Nasaga, the area LC3 chairperson, was called in first when Mercer had just been electrocuted.
I came here personally and I got a wire connected on his house. So that wire was a live wire. It got connected when it was raining. Actually, he came with the grass. He was just from the gardens. He came with the grass taking for the animals, and the live wire just got him, and the guy just died immediately.
Mercer left Beatrice with 5 children, who she now struggles to raise. Well, it's a touching story, as the widow of Godfrey Mercer tells me how her husband died after touching this wire, which had an illegal connection tapped on it. And it takes me to where the husband was laid to rest. And this is where the body of the late Mercer now lies today. Moses tells us about other victims who have died due to illegal power connections in this area.
Mercer and a priest died in 1 year. And in Nalugogo corner, there's a student who died when she was going to sit for her O-level exams. She died. And one also died in Nalugogo, a student. He was passing through the eucalyptus trees. There was a naked wire connected to power, and he died. Those are the 4 people.
He confirms that families have been coached, including children, to say that the persons electrocuted died from snake bites.
In Mercer, we knew because we came with these people of UMEME. We knew it was power. But in Nalugogo, they even took the body to Budadi, saying that it was the snake bite. Then secondly, in in Narugugu still, a student who died in Karputas, they said it was pressure. So that's the tendency of my people.
Herbert Mlekwa, the LC5 chairperson of the district, is also very aware of the snake bite assertion in his area of influence.
Here they term it as a snake bite. They call it a snake bite. They don't call it that electricity, maybe killing somebody, but a snake bite. When you hear them talking about a snake bite, that means there has been a problem of electricity killing somebody. And that one they had to bury, and they bury immediately. It doesn't sleep overnight.
According to UMEME, a police investigation in 2015 indicated that at least 13 people were electrocuted in the Mount Elgon sub-region each week due to illegal power connections, among them children. Sources tell me the number could even be higher because most families bury electrocuted loved ones in haste and without informing police. I drive through various villages in the surrounding districts, including Bulambuli, Manafwa, Sironko, and Mbale. It is past 6 p.m. in the evening, and our drive shows that most small homes are lit up, even though there are no legal connections by UMEME to their houses. The question is, where do these people get the power? And the answer could be obvious: through illegal connections. I now want to find out how the hooking is done. It is past 6 p.m. and we are driving out of Mbale town to a place called Bugema, which is along this Toro Road. So we are running there to see. We have been told that at this time is when people begin to wire up, begin to put up illegal connections from all the wires that pass by. So we want to go and find out, see these people in action. As we drive out of Mbale town, in Bungoko village is where I find this old woman fidgeting to hook a wire onto a live high voltage line to light up her small mud estate. It is an open barbed wire connected to the house that is hooked onto the high voltage lines using a long stick. The wire normally has a hook, and it is the hook that one places onto the live power line using the stick to tap current and distribute to the homestead. Ordinarily in the morning it is disconnected and kept hanging in a hideout, and later in the evening hours the person returns to tap with the hook. We are also told people climb poles to tap power. As hard as it is to climb this pole, locals here do not fear to engage in this risky venture of climbing the pole and tap up from the live wires. Because of the intensity of the problem, UMEME, the utility company, is hard-pressed to conduct surprise operations in the area, which according to UMEME media manager Stephen Ilongole are as well costly.
Problem is big, if you ask me, mainly here in Mbale and other parts of the country. The act of illegal connection is affecting our operations. We cannot supply power reliably to our legitimate customers. They get frustrated because people are connecting legally, are overloading either transformers or they are vandalizing the network. Okay, and that is affecting everybody.
One of the operations conducted in our presence reveals more discoveries on illegal connections in Mbale's slum area of Namatala, locally known as Nylon. The operation, conducted with the support of police, reveals how residents have been tapping power illegally from one single pole. Using small open wires, they connect power onto the small makeshift houses to light their homes at night.
It's a live wire, so they connect this one to take the power. You can imagine it's a live one and it's passing under the ground.
All these are disconnected and pulled down by UMEME officials in the operation. What was involved in this operation?
We are removing illegal networks, both underground. Like what you see up there, there is an illegal extension to our network, which has been used to supply a bigger part of this portion. They add a line to our existing connection of a prepayment meter. So the line appears like a communication cable, but for it doesn't come through the meter, picks power direct and then supplies. And then when it comes down to this building, it starts supplying the underground network that has been supplying a bigger part of this place.
And then how do they connect through the houses?
Through the houses, they dig underground, like you see here, take to one house. Then the other underground network starts from the next house, like that. They build their own network, but underground, no poles, no security at all.
Right now, like you can see, they are digging down a live wire which was placed underneath the ground. Now, throughout the operation, such wires have been discovered which have been placed under the ground, and then they get power into the houses illegally. Now, this poses a huge challenge, especially to the young ones who live in such areas. Here, UMEME staff also discover rounds of illegal underground cables, which are also risky to lives of residents. According to UMEME staff, when it rains, because of the illegal live wire networks underground, the wet ground is filled with current, which in turn strikes the innocent ones.
Unfortunately, they kill women and the children, because when this happens, it is usually the man who knows how to play with the wires, and he's the one who knows where he has put them. Okay, but a kid will come running around and he knocks on the line, on the live line, and they die. A woman will be trying to hang clothes. She washes the clothes. Those wash lines are energized because these guys don't care. All they want is power only.
UMEME staff here disconnect a sizable number after discovering that most of their power connections are illegal. Some of those who try to resist are arrested and handed over to police.
Who was trying to insist that they should not disconnect. So we at PA think the operation would be successful.
The question here is who exactly makes the illegal connections? Residents accuse UMEME staff, who they claim to pay some fees and get them connected.
Apart from bano benyini bwe bajja mayike enaku zino bintu byakyukamu bya kito kidogo obanga towaddeyo kantu katono ekintu tekikolanga bw'oyagala.
But UMEME denies the allegations and blames the former employees of Uganda Electricity Board, commonly known as CAMUFUs.
All they need is to see a legitimate line with the power on it. How they end with it in their rooms is in a very dangerous way.
According to Mount Elgon sub-region local leaders, Eastern Uganda has many former workers of UEB who were allegedly wrongly laid off their jobs, and this presents a huge challenge.
There are very many here, and whatever innovations they do, I think those people will always find a way to move around them. And those are the guys who are doing that work, unfortunately. So also it may be good to do like the way the army does. When the army send the veterans there in the field, in the village, they don't abandon them, they keep on talking to them, bringing. I think even the government should find a way of maybe UMEME and the other, let me say Uganda, maybe electricity distribution, whatever, or transmission company, whatever. Let them try to do it, to be talking to these people.
Many other people accuse the utility company staff of arrogance and charging them with wrong estimates.
Somebody just goes somewhere and they actually fix the figures. Somebody has not read your meter, but they are telling you that you pay so much. Even when maybe you have been here when the house has been closed, you still find a big bill for that period when you were not using the what? The power. So there is a lack of, remember, it's not just the way it charges. It punishes people who are innocent.
For now, UMEME and other team players are engaging the communities through community sensitization, while they also prepare to take action against the culprits. Walugembe, NBS investigates.